And a very pleasant Tuesday night. Welcome to Ridgecrest Talk. I'm Tom Heck with the Brady Bunch right here. We've got Chris Branson, we've got Austin Branson, and Braden Branson. We had Corbin Branson before, and tonight we're going to hear more about IWV football. We're going to hear a lot about junior high basketball coming up, and we're also going to talk some baseball. These guys are active in just about everything that has a ball involved in it in the city. They've even dabbled into some tennis that their dad likes to play. But first of all, guys, let me ask you this, because I know you're very knowledgeable about football. Now, I understand that at least, so Braden, you like to play a little fantasy football?
Yeah.
Well, tell us about your fantasy team.
I got like 6.
6 of them. Well, you know what? We have time. Let's hear it nice and loud. Go ahead. Tell us how you got involved with this and why it's so popular.
I've done it ever since my dad started, and I've just been in the same league as him and just doing random ones.
Okay. How have your teams done?
1-0 in 3 of them, and 0-1 in 3 of them.
Okay. So now, who are a couple of your top players?
I have everybody, so.
Everybody. Wow. Okay. He's a wealth of information. At his age, that's pretty incredible. Chris, let's go to you. In our last segment, we'll talk about Major League Baseball and the Angels and the pennant race right now, which is pretty cool going on. One of my favorite times of year, the last 2 weeks of baseball season, on all the games that the competitive teams play. Competitive meaning the teams that are right on the bubble for a playoff are so very, very important. But let's start with IWV football. I know last year you guys participated in the league. This year you aren't playing. Your brother Corbin is. But do you miss a little bit of the football, and are you going to try to play next year?
Yeah. I might do it next year. I don't know.
Okay. Now, you guys are 8th graders this year, correct? Boy, time flies. Remember when you first came to basketball camp here at Saracoso, and you guys were just, past the point of crawling and starting to walk, and you guys probably dribbled the basketball before you got your first pair of jeans. I mean, you guys were, really good little athletes and everything, but so hopefully you'll play some football next year. Any interest in playing high school football next year?
I doubt it, but maybe.
But maybe, okay. Well, let's go to basketball now. You're just around the corner from basketball season at the junior high school. Tell us about, start with you, Braden. Tell us about your junior high basketball experience last year and what you look forward to this year.
I liked it a lot last year. We had a lot of friends that played.
Okay.
And
tell us about what kind of team you had and what were some of your funner games last year?
Well, we have like 6 doing travel ball, and next year having like 8. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Okay. Now, last year I know you guys played for your dad and then your grandfather. Uncle Don, or I should say Grandpa Don, also helped out as an assistant coach for your dad, Chris. What were a couple of your favorite games last year? How about that last Murray game of the year? Talk about that one.
That one was fun. My favorite actually was against Emmanuel, and my dad actually got thrown out of that one. And
well, that was a good throw out, though. He was there just, he was just exchanging some pleasantries with one of the local officials, and anyway, but I think the season went pretty good as far as that goes. But that was one of your favorite games against Emmanuel, and I know a couple other games that were very, very close were the Jacobson games, the Jacobson team from Tehachapi. Talk about those games a little bit about Austin and Braden.
Those games, we lost both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them against Jacobson. One at home, and we went into overtime.
And both games very tight.
Yeah, very close.
So those are kind of fun to play, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Braden?
Yeah, it was fun. We lost both, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about some of the good wins you guys had? Who were they against?
St. Francis was a good one because we lost to them and then we came back and beat them.
Okay.
That was the championship game tournament down in
Up to home.
El Cajon.
Okay.
And got a big trophy for that one.
Okay. And where are some of the tournaments you're going to play this year, Chris?
Well, hopefully we'll get a couple in Bakersfield for sure, and then
Stitt County.
oh yeah, then we'll have the 8th grade tournament at the end of the year, which is also in Bakersfield. And we went to that as a 7th grade team last year and competed, and we actually won.
We won 2, lost 2.
Yeah, we won 2 games in that tournament, and that was an 8th grade tournament as a 7th grade team. So that was a lot of fun.
Okay, and so a little bit of travel involved. Also, I know you'll play in the Saracoso tournament, which is the first week of December, as you guys did last year and made a pretty good showing. We had some pretty good teams here. I know one of your rivalries is Desert. Talk about those games. A little bit physical, aren't they?
Yeah. We got not into it, but it got very intense.
Very intense. Good. And what you think of that?
And ours wasn't as bad as the 8th grade last year. The 8th grade was very big dudes and competitive.
Okay.
And I hope we have that this year.
All right. When we come back, we're going to kind of talk more. We'll talk a little bit more basketball. We're going to talk some baseball, IWV baseball, summer baseball, and what you guys hope to do as far as on the diamond goes. Don't go away. This is Ridgecrest Talk. It's Tuesday night, your sports theme. I'm Tom Heck, Chris Branson. Also with us tonight, we have Braden and Austin Branson, and probably there's more Bransons outside waiting to come in. But don't go away. This 1-minute break. This is Tuesday night Ridgecrest Talk right here on KZGN. And welcome back to Ridgecrest Talk. I'm Tom Heck, Chris Branson, and also Braden Branson was talking a little bit, and we'll also hear from Austin Branson. But Braden, talk about baseball, your favorite position, and are you going to maybe give it a shot in high school?
My favorite position is catcher. It's a lot of fun, and I would like to try in high school, but never know.
Never know. Okay. Now I know you like to play. I knew you played in the infield some and the outfield some, but why is catcher such a favorite position?
Just because you get the ball every time and just see how fast the pitchers are and react to the ball.
Okay. And as far as hitting the baseball, has your batting average improved some?
Yes. I did pretty well last year.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you at the point where you can hit 2 different type pitches, both a movement type pitch, a breaking pitch slider, or are you just full of straight fastballs?
I like fastballs. Curveballs are tough, but not hitting it every time yet.
Okay. What about you?
I feel like I can hit the changeup, but not the curveball yet.
Okay.
And my favorite position is second base.
Second base. Okay, now are you trying to aspire to play on the high school level like your dad did?
I do want to play on the high school level.
Okay, now where could you see yourself there, in the infield somewhere?
I hope.
Okay. What about your batting average? Has it gone up a little bit this year?
I think I did about the same I did last 2 years before as I did last year.
Now, this summer, when you guys played in that tournament down in Tahoe area, how did things go?
Oh, we actually didn't play in Tahoe. That was Corbin.
Okay, Corbin, okay. Well, the year before you played there, did you not? Okay, I keep thinking you guys did. Well, where did you guys get to play at all? Any this summer at all, baseball?
Mostly down in Bakersfield, but that's it.
Okay. How was that league? Is it competitive?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what about the spring league here? Is that fairly competitive?
Yes, but there was only 3 teams, so it was repetitive.
So you played a lot of the same people over and over again. And that can make it awfully tough.
So the All-Stars, they decided not to do All-Stars, which they got to watch all their friends play it and regretted it very much because that team ended up making it 3 tournaments down the road all the way to Long Beach and did very well in Pony All-Stars.
Wow. So
Super regional tournament.
okay. Did you just got tired of baseball, or what
No,
happened?
we had travel basketball for high desert heat.
The high desert heat and travel basketball. Well, let me ask you about that, because that was kind of coming up next. How do you manage all this travel and everything? Do you keep a book where you know where you're going from weekend to weekend, or?
No, I just check my mom and dad's phone.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. So this probably might interfere a little bit with the dating life and all the little junior high girls that are chasing you guys around on the basketball court, probably, and fill the gym and take your picture and selfies and all that stuff. And well, you can worry about that down the road here. Maybe in about 20 years or so, that would make your parents happy. I guarantee. Hey, let's ask you about your thoughts on travel basketball. What kind of competition do you guys see with that?
We see very tough competition. We don't always win, but it's always close.
Mm-hmm. Now, where are some of the places that you guys have played?
Mostly at the CSUN College.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cal State Northridge.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. Sometimes we go down to LA.
Okay. And now you guys both playing point guard, or where are you guys playing?
Shooting guard and point guard.
Okay. And have you improved from the outside, you think?
I feel like I have.
Okay. So what's your range, do you think, from the outside?
His is better than mine, but I still feel like I shoot pretty well.
Dad says just inside the three-point line. They like to think just outside the three-point line.
Just outside the three-point line, huh? Okay. All right, what about defensively? I know you guys are like little gnats that just kind of surround people sometimes. And talk about the defensive part of basketball a little bit, guys.
We're always the smallest guys on the court, and it makes it tough, but never back down from the challenge.
Wow. Okay. Truly spoken. Very well rehearsed. I like that. As far as getting the ball and dribbling under pressure, have you felt you've gotten better there?
Yes, I have. When I began on the Cyclone team, I used to have trouble, but now I feel like I have a lot more confidence dribbling the ball.
So you're looking forward to high school basketball, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. And it's a shame we don't have a freshman team anymore. They do have a JV to go with the varsity, but the league now that we're in, the Mojave River League, does not have basically freshman basketball anymore for boys, which is really tough. Really, really tough. Okay, we're going to take our break. We'll come back. We'll have the third segment. We're going to kind of talk a lot about Major League Baseball and get some opinions here from all the Bransons. So don't go away. This is Tuesday night. It's Ridgecrest Talk. I'm Tom Heck, Chris Branson. Also, Austin and Braden Branson back after this timeout. This is Ridgecrest Talk right here on KZGN. And welcome back to Ridgecrest Talk. I'm Tom Heck with the Branson Bunch, not to be confused with the Brady Bunch, but the Branson Bunch. And we have talked about all the different sports in the IWV. These two really love to play baseball. They like football. They like basketball. Probably, I think, their favorite sport, although I never thought it would probably be basketball, right, guys?
Yes.
That's their number one sport, then probably baseball. And they hope to play at Burroughs High School next year. They're 8th graders this year. They're going to be playing basketball for Monroe Junior High School. And their dad is going to coach the 8th grade team this year over at Monroe. And Chris, I know you're looking forward to that.
Yep, can't wait. Already doing lots of research, making practice plans, and getting these guys out as much as we can.
Okay, what kind of numbers do you anticipate as far as people coming out to play, and what night are you going to practice probably?
So 6th and 7th grade tryouts, there was about 40. I wouldn't expect that many for James Monroe for the 8th grade, but we'll take 10 to 13 kids and we'll practice hopefully 3 to 4 nights a week in the beginning, and then once the season starts we'll get 1 to 2 in a week.
Okay. And you hope to play about a 18, 20 game schedule then perhaps?
I think we played 40 games last year, didn't we?
Yeah, counting tournaments.
Boy, that's incredible.
Yeah,
That's
we
a
had a lot.
little bit too many probably for trying to get everything in. But some of those games are shorter, though, the tournament games, and they're running clocks, so
Yeah.
that helps a little bit too. But let's talk about Major League Baseball. We got about 2 weeks left now, a little bit under now, about a week and a half when this airs. And the Angels right now had a good week, and they won 3 or 4 in Minnesota, but they still trail the Houston Astros, and the Texas Rangers, who came out of absolutely nowhere, now lead the American League West. And if everything ended today, it would be the Rangers winning the West. It would be the 2 wild card teams would be the New York Yankees as a 1 team and the Houston Astros as a 2nd team. The Angels and Twins are both a couple games behind Houston, and those 2 teams playing as we speak tonight down in Texas. But what kind of Angel fans are you guys?
Not much of an Angels fan. Dodgers fan all the way.
Dodgers fan all the way. Okay, well, you'll be happy to know that the Dodgers, unless the plane crashes, are going to win the West. The Giants just kind of free fell out of the sky, and they will not be the repeating world champions this year because they will not be in the playoffs. The Dodgers have pretty much clinched the West. The Cardinals pretty much are in the driver's seat over in that National League Central. And then in the National League East, the New York Mets. And I thought maybe a month and a half ago the Mets would not be around in postseason. Boy, was I wrong. And the Nationals, who I thought would be, sure aren't. Chris, your thoughts on baseball right now?
Yeah, Angels, good luck to them. We're a diehard Dodger family, so we're pretty happy about the Dodgers and the way they're playing. Looking forward to Kershaw getting his first win in the playoffs this year, and Zach Greinke, the Cy Young winner, hopefully. And yeah, the Angels have been battling. I know they've been quite a few close games. I've been looking at the score, so it's nice to have another California team in there. So we kind of root for them.
Now the Dodgers, basically, if things ended right now, would probably, and I say probably, get the New York Mets. And the 2 wild card teams right now, if things ended, and it probably, unless they both go on a downslide, which I don't anticipate, the Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Cubs would play a 1-game winner-take-all scenario against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now the Dodgers would play a series against the Mets, and they were talking about the home field advantage being important. The reason is that you're going to have to face Clayton Kershaw and Zach Greinke, but do you want to face them in New York, or do you want to face them late afternoon in Los Angeles with the shadows basically covering the pitching mound and home plate, and then maybe covering the mound and then not quite covering home plate, but eventually covering home plate, meaning that your baseball is going to go from darkness into light, or vice versa, light into darkness. And that makes it awfully hard to hit the baseball. They were talking about that the other day, how crucial that is. So, can anybody, any team right now, beat the Dodgers? What do you think, Braden?
Yeah, they'll lose a couple, but we got this.
You got it. Okay. All right. What about you, Austin?
I think the Cardinals will be a tough competition for the Dodgers, just because I haven't seen them at all go on a losing streak that much.
I think I'm more worried about the Pirates. And they swept us the last time we played in Pittsburgh, and they just beat Kershaw last night. So
that's if they make it.
Yeah, it's if they get by that wild card. Boy, the Chicago Cubs, are plenty good this year. Give Joe Madden a lot of credit. It's been a very interesting baseball season. A couple of the teams that we thought would do pretty well didn't do so well, and a couple of teams that I really didn't think would be around in the postseason are in the postseason. So you never know. You got to go out and play the game. The Dodgers, though, definitely, they don't lack much. Maybe the bullpen this year weaker than it's been, but their frontline pitching sure is very, very good, and they can hit the ball, as they've shown pretty much everybody this year. The Angels, meanwhile, C.J. Wilson getting hurt, and they've just had a few injuries on the hill. So Joe Smith was hurt his ankle. Hopefully everybody will get healthy again as they start the last week of the season next week. So if we had to just kind of pick somebody now in the Fantasy Baseball League, who would you take to win the whole thing, Chris?
Dodgers.
The Dodgers, okay. Of course. What about you guys?
Same. I would like the Dodgers, but if the Dodgers happen not to make it, I would want to see the Cardinals
The
try it
Cardinals.
again.
Okay, Cardinals trying again. All right, football season now just starting. If you guys had to pick someone that you think is going to win the Super Bowl, and this is early. This is when the brilliant minds come out of the closet right now. It's one thing picking a champion when you have the last 4 or 5 teams that are playing in the playoffs, but what about after week 2? Who's going to go out and give me a prediction on who's going to be there in February to win the whole thing? Go ahead, start with Dad.
If I had to guess, look, Patriots.
Patriots, okay. Now that Deflategate was behind us, Tom Brady throwing pretty well right now. What about you?
Patriots are doing well, but I don't like them.
You don't like them, okay. So, you and a lot of others, but who do you like to win it, though?
Probably the Seahawks to see it.
The Seahawks, okay. And?
I'm going to disagree with both of them here
Uh-oh.
and say the Steelers.
The Steelers. Wow, they, during week 2, sure did go out and beat up the 49ers pretty bad, so maybe you're on the right track with that. That team now 1 win, 1 loss. So, all right, folks, we wish you the very best.
Tom, really quick,
Yes.
who do you think's going to win?
Who do I think is going to win the Super Bowl? Well, based on your fantasy football and admiration of the Jacksonville Jaguars earlier, which basically stunned me, there's one team that I know is not going to win, and that'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars. But to go out on a limb right now after this week, I have a feeling, just a feeling, and my feelings are about 99% wrong this early in the year, but somehow something tells me that the Denver Broncos are going to figure a way to win the whole thing. I just have that feeling. Well, we'll see what happens. That's kind of the fun of sports. Well, we appreciate the Bransons as usual. We'll check in with them again before the year's out because junior high basketball will be in full swing here. They'll start practice just in a little over a month, and it'll be here before we know it. It always is, as life seems to go by very, very quickly this day and age. So, with that said, hope you enjoyed our show. And for the Bransons, I'm Tom Heck, bidding you a very pleasant Tuesday evening. You've been watching Ridgecrest Talk right here on KZGN.